Hey guys, welcome back to another video where today we are making the infamous Huggy Wuggy. So to start off with, head to the avatar menu and then go down to reset your character, clear appearance and confirm. Now we're going to the body section, go to the heads and search for head L or headless, which will give you this one here. And then we're going to start getting the individual components for the arms and the feet. So if you search all under the arm section, then hit the cog and equip it for the other arm as well. There we go, looking good. Now we're going to head to the leg and search for Roblox girl or grr as I have and equip it. And once again hit the cog and equip the other leg. And the last piece of this is to import the Neo C torso. Looking cool. So here we head to the clothing section and go to import, follow the code on the screen and this will give you the Huggy Wuggy fur top, which looks pretty good. And now we've imported that, we need to import the bottom. So enter the numbers that you see on the screen, which will get you the texture for the lower half. And like that, we're looking pretty cool. So we're going to start off with, as we always do in the more recent videos, is the scaling. So you got the head, obviously there's no head there yet, but there will be. And the upper body width is where we're starting. So once you follow this, move and expand the upper body height. Unfortunately, it's not too in depth, I say, compared to the Sonic, but it's more in depth than say like the Venom one we did recently. So we want to make his arms really long and his hands really short. And with that being done, we're looking pretty good, and the upper body height and the torso, and now we're moving to the lower body width. Now, as you know the character, his legs are quite skinny and obviously quite long. And his arms do go down almost to his feet, at least they did from all the ones I've seen online, so that's what I've based it off. If you don't agree or you think I've done something wrong, obviously let me know, but I think it looks pretty cool at the end of this. So now we're going to search for the alien head, this one just here in fact. And this is what we're going to base the main head off, so what you want to do is go to the tuning menu, and then just rejig it like I do here. I start to resize it and everything as I did beforehand and wonder why it didn't sit in the right place, but you need to hit the attach button and then do the blob just in front, which is just below the one that it equips, so it's just at the neck height. Now we've done that, we just need to readjust the leg height again, so I wasn't too happy with that. And then obviously we're going to paint the head of the alien, looks like coloured blue because I forgot to put the texture on, which we'll do a bit later. So now we're going to search for some eyes. If you search for Cyclops, you've got this one here and that one there. I'm going to equip them both. And then we're going to amend the locations and where they sit on the face, just as we do with all the other items. So I'm basing the eyes from where the alien's head is to put these, to just give me a general idea. I know eventually we resize them and rejig them so they're not symmetrical, because they're not. One is sitting lower than the other. And then as we go through this, we then head to the accessories and search for smile. And yes, you can guess, we're using this old smile that I tend to use quite often. So now we've got that, we're just going to readjust it to make it fit our face. And obviously the smile needs to be quite large and we can't get it large enough for what we need. So what we're going to do here is import texture. If you follow the number on the screen, this will get you the evil smile or the teeth with the open mouth texture. And then we're just going to slightly adjust it before we then put the textures on the eyes, and straight away after putting these in, it makes a hell of a difference on how he looks, which is honestly quite spooky. So now we have put the texture on both eyes. It looks kind of creepy, but as you know, you can't then select another smile, so we have to import it like so to be able to get two of them, because if you do it by going through the menu as we did the first time, when you click it, it just unequips the one you've already got. So if you want more than one item of the same, you need to import it like I just did then, you know, several times. So now we've got the mouth lined up, we're going to put the teeth texture back onto this mouth as well. And then we're going to just fine tune it because I wasn't quite happy with how it sat. So it needs to be quite long, but also blend in as best as possible, which is quite difficult. So with this, we're going to just copy this texture because we're going to use that quite a lot with all the other stuff we start to import. And now the head is looking pretty cool, although a bit like Squidward for the time being. So here I'm searching for the first of 3 spheres, which this is going to act to make his head a little bit more of a triangle shape. So as I resize this and shrink it and do as I need to, this is going to be sat just obviously on the upper either left or right side of his head. And I do rejig this This is purely for his belly. So I take that back. So obviously the first sphere is for the belly of the Huggy Wuggy. And obviously you need to then put the fur on and then recolor it to make it sit in really nicely. And then following up with sphere number 2, which we're going to use this one here, the US ball as it were. We're going to then resize this and make it sit on the head. So this is the one that I thought it was the last time, but obviously it's not. So now we've got the right one. We just need to rejig this to make it sit on the side of the head. Obviously retexture it with the fur and then get the colour to try and match it as best as possible. And I get to a point here and I think, yeah, that'll do. And then don't worry, I do come back because it looks a bit odd. So we're going to search for the third sphere to put on the other side. And with that being said, we're going to then just resize it, roll it, tweak it, just like we did with the other side, to then get it to fit on the head a bit better this time around than it was the first time. So with that being said, obviously put the fur on and colour match it, and then we're going to just search for croissant. That's right, we're going to search for this peculiar looking thing here, although they're really good for breakfast, and we're going to attach it to our head. You may be thinking, why have we got that? And it will hopefully make sense because adding those two spheres didn't quite do as I wanted with the shape, and this does it really well. So following on, we're now searching for Fuzz, which is going to act as a bit of fur on the head. So if you go onto there, resize it, and then obviously we're going to need to add the texture to it and get it to sit obviously on the head correctly, but also be the right colour. So at this point, again, like I say, copy and paste that number, which will be the same fur texture, and then we're going to search for, again, fur of 1, or this is number 2 or 3, because we need to add a bit more to his head because it still doesn't look quite right. So once you resize this, jig it, and attach it to the top of the head, we will then get to the point where we need to open up the box to retexture it, and again, paste the code we had, place that on, and adjust the colour to make it fit as best as possible, but also to make it sit on the head best as possible. Cool, looking good. So now we're going to go back and search for fur once again, and we're going to get this lovely purple ring-like fur. So as we're adjusting this, we're going to make this sit on the top of the head once again to kind of fill in the space of where the hair is kind of lacking. So I think we need to retexture this with the fur. In fact, I know. And then obviously rejig the colour to try and make it match. And then I will probably end up tweaking it just a smidge. And then we'll get to that point, and his hair is to the point where it's there. Now we are heading to search for a red bow, which is this one here, because he has a bow that matches the skin or the fur, and that's what we're going to replicate. So we're going to make this sit as best as possible on his chest, and then once we've done that, we can get to the point where we can retexture it, obviously copy and paste, and then match it with the colour as best as possible so it blends in quite nice. And I forgot to colour the hands, so I'm going to try my best here to try and match it with the skin I've got. And it took me a few tries because I went too light, then too dark, and then eventually I got it just right. And then I paint the other side, and we've got the colour of the hands pretty much, I think, near enough there. You can tweak that a bit more than I did, that's not a problem. Now with the animation, I felt with walking, you know what, I've never really seen him walk, but he's a really long gangly thing. I thought this is quite spooky, so this will do, but for running, this is what we went with. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!